Houses built on sand. So one of the biggest and most harmful, in my opinion, misconceptions about the art of conscious creation / manifestation / reality creation is that you need to stay positive all the time and or lie to yourself, basically, and trick yourself about what you see or feel. And there may be some who teach it that way, but that is not how it works at all. And that is certainly not my belief, or the way that I teach it anyway. Because you simply cannot create anything at all without beginning on a foundation of acceptance for who and how and where you are right now. Acceptance. Conscious creation is about choosing something different than the norm or than the automatic expectation or the automatic reaction that you might normally have. But you cannot do that without the very first foundational step of present moment awareness and acceptance. Seeing and accepting things exactly as they are, and then choosing an aim that you can connect with and connect to and want to create instead. And then staying with yourself through the bumps along the way until that new creation is realized and acclimatized. People forget about that step. But the acclimation process to new or different identities or realities is like an airplane taking flight. It moves through the different temperatures and elevations and pockets of air. It's going to experience turbulence before it smooths out and acclimates. If you attempt to build your dreams and your aims on lies you're telling yourself, it's going to keep crumbling out from under you. That's why it's so important to work with what you have in all the ways, I mean all the ways that appears, from where you are now. And make those aims something that you can anchor into. And you can always anchor into the truth of how you feel and where you are now, and build from there. And you will notice, many of you already know, and you will notice that it's deeply relaxing to admit that. Perhaps after some, initial sadness or anger that you allow to move through or cry out or yell out, to accept yourself and that point that you're at on your path, and then from there, choose where you're headed. And choose things that match your aim, match your dream in any way, even if it seems small. Because every investor of energy or time or resources knows what you invest compounds over time. The acceptance is the neutralization. And the neutralization is the balance. And the balance is where all sturdy and relatively stable new dreams are built. Now, balance to me does not mean not experiencing waves or not experiencing highs or lows. That's not balance to me. I don't believe in that. Balance to me means the inclusion of and acceptance of both ends of the spectrum of life. High, low, good, bad, right, wrong, win, lose, etc., etc., etc. Happy, sad, etc., etc. Because when you have that, you don't have to run. And it's relaxing not to have to run. It's a wide open spaciousness that is usually what you're actually looking for. Prior to that, you will be using massive amounts of energy to run or to avoid ends of that spectrum that you don't ever want to experience, which means you just have a fraction of the energy available to use for the things that you actually want to create. Because it's all getting it's all getting put towards the avoidance and the running. But when you start with acceptance of where you are now, how you feel now, where you're at now, that is a sturdy foundation that opens up your field and energizes your aims twice as much. So all this to say that if you're feeling all kinds of ways you don't want to feel right now, and experiencing all kinds of opposite results that you want to experience right now, breathe deep. And just accept that this is where you are in this moment, and it's okay. And it's all anyone who ever created anything totally amazing ever had either. It's all they ever had to begin with. They just began from where they were with what they had available to them at that time, mentally, physically, emotionally, monetarily, and otherwise. And yes, that's not the same for everyone, obviously. But it's all anyone has ever had, and it's all over the map. You can look around and see that. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. It's enough for you to decide that you are moving in that direction, and then just relax into your current reality so that you can open your field of awareness. And then your awareness will help you see anything that lights up as your next step along this path. It can help at this stage to remember that once that elusive thing that you want is finally your reality, you'll just be on to the next goal or aim. So don't get too caught in some feeling that it's going to complete you, because it isn't. It's just this next game you're playing in your life. This next quest that you're on, one of many hundreds, thousands, or millions left to come, if you are considering the infinite, eternal nature of your being and your soul. Now, some people might think that that realization is deflating or like a deterrent to going after things in life. Like you should just sit on a stump and be at peace, because why bother? And if that is your aim and your dream, you certainly can. See what I did there? It's still an aim. It's still a dream. If you want to sit on a stump and be at peace, that's still an aim. Being is a beautiful state, a necessary and vital foundation to the enjoyment of life. But becoming is also that, just as much. They are two halves of a whole, just like you. Humans tend to set up camps in one or the other, being camp or becoming camp, and live primarily in one or the other. But it's always both. We're always doing both. And sometimes we just need to expand our capacity for one or the other more. So we'll visit that camp more. Too much time in becoming and you'll need some being before long. Too much time in being and you'll need some becoming. It's a dance and it's all fine. I have to constantly remind myself. I'm reminding you because I need to remind myself. So if you're experiencing major change and transformation right now in your business and life, and it would be kind of crazy if you weren't, because the whole world is. But if you are experiencing that and you want some guiding light, then I invite you to the estuary, flowing into your greater body of work. It is something that will help you navigate these changing tides of the times and of yourself and of your business's future in a way that feels more aligned with who you truly are. I also suggest Moth and Moon, my guided oracle journey, which is more about conscious creation from a foundation of acceptance and love for who you are and where you are right now. And some other things some other creations of mine that will assist in the creation of this balance is The Art of Expansion workshop, starring my Sun Muns, and my Stability and Plenty workshop, which is new and also in the shop. And all of these things are just more delicious ways of getting to know yourself and your dreams that much more. And for me personally, there's just nothing in the world more satisfying than getting to know myself and my dreams that much more. And I know if you are here, then you are somebody who is as excited about that as I am. So happy deep diving, sweet peas, and I will see you next week. Bye.